Svikin eru þvert á línuna og þessu þarf að linna, bætir Guðmundur við pólitíkina á Íslandi. Hann segist ekkert nema bjartsýnn fyrir komandi vikum í kosningabaráttunni. Oh, hi there. So, in 1998, a historic moment occurred in Icelandic history when an incumbent president, which was Vigdís Finnbogadóttir, had to run for re-election. Yes, because the three presidents before her had always run unopposed. So when they retired, several men stepped into the race, and one of them became the next president. But whenever they decided to stay on into the next term, they were never challenged. And ever since then, 1988, presidential elections have become somewhat more common. Vigdís Finnbogadóttir ran unopposed in 1992. Ólafur Ragnar Grímsson also ran unopposed in 2000 and 2008. However, in 2004 and 2012 he had to run for re-election since other people were trying to become presidents themselves. And this year, 2020, is therefore a somewhat historic election year, because this is the very first time in all of our history when an incumbent president has a challenger after his first term in office. So, you may be wondering, whoa, who decides to challenge an Icelandic president on his first term? Must be a brilliant statesman, or maybe somebody from the cultural sphere, you know, like Vigdís was. But no! Who is running against Guðni? It's this idiot right here. Here he is. Guðmundur Franklin Jónsson, and as you may be able to tell, not a fan. But before we talk about Guðmundur, let me just remind you on who is president right now. Guðni Thorlacius Jóhannesson has a bachelor's degree in political science and history. Now, he was not a politician before becoming president. However, due to his education, he was very often on the news, you know, due to his expertise in history and political science. Basically, whenever something was happening in, you know, related to politics, he would, you know, go on the news and sort of explain whether or not this was unusual or how similar incidents of this nature had been handled before. Then at some point people started to push him to run as president, because, you know, who would be a better candidate to be a head of state than somebody who quite literally wrote the book on Icelandic politics. So no, instead of having a politician as head of state, we decided to go for somebody who literally wrote the book on what it means to be a politician in Iceland. And aside from that, he's well known for being just this generally very nice guy, you know. He's this kind of president you would want to have as your next door neighbor, you know. He's the Mr. Rogers type of president. And yeah, so who is this idiot who thinks he has a chance of being able to beat him? To be fair, I don't think that Guðmundur Franklin believes that he has a very strong chance, you know, of being able to beat Guðni. I mean, last time I checked, Guðni has an approval rating of 80%, and this is actually lower than it used to be. So yeah, now I'm guessing, you know, Guðmundur just wants the attention or whatever. Now, so what sort of guy is this Guðmundur Franklin? Well, for one thing, he used to be a Wall Street stockbroker, believe it or not. And he owned some stock exchange business that went completely out of business, and he's considered to be generally a pretty failed businessman, although he seems to be doing all right for himself right now. Now, he talks about that he wants to, you know, fight for the little guy and fight against corruption, which is something that probably every politician says anyway, so, you know, I kind of gotten deaf to these words. But yeah, he's this kind of libertarian-ish leaning politician, but or no, not politician. He did try to become a member of parliament once as a member of the Independence Party, did not get elected, or did not get enough votes in his district, and he also then he and some other people created a new political party called the Right Greens. And they got 1.7% of the entire popular vote back in 2013, which was quite a bit far under the 5% minimum you need to get members elected to parliament. So yeah, failed businessman and failed politician for the price of one. Wonderful. And yeah, he actually remarked in one of his interviews about what it was like to work in Wall Street that he literally admitted that, if somebody asks him, hey, how can I, get this money, to a tax haven so I don't have to pay taxes, he literally said, and he confessed that, yeah, it was his duty as part of his job to make sure that said person would get away scot-free and not pay taxes. This guy claims to wanting to fight against corruption. It should be noted that, yeah, like I said, he's not considered likely to win. In fact, there was a poll recently, I think on Fréttablaðið, and according to that, Guðni is expected to win with around 94% of the votes. So yeah. Oh, one thing, real quick, I forgot. So I commented something on Guðmundur Franklin's Facebook page. I don't remember exactly what, but it wasn't very very positive. And then I tried to comment on something else he posted yesterday, and I was unable to. Apparently he blocked me, or I don't know, maybe somebody who runs his official Facebook page did so. So yeah, I cannot like it. I cannot like the site. I cannot comment, but I can still see it for some reason. So yeah, that's the sort of people they are. Now, when examining the political leaning of people that might or might not support Guðmundur, he doesn't get strong support in pretty much from people in any major party except, wait for it, the Center Party. Roughly half of the voters of the Center Party claim that they would probably vote for Guðmundur, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, the Center Party is essentially just a party of failed politicians who claim to be populist but are really just fake populists with no real ideology that it didn't, except for those that they just borrowed from the parties where they originally came from. The Center Party has evolved into basically this conglomeration of people that are just against anything that's going on, anything that the government does, simply for the sole purpose of being against it. Like I said, they have no concrete ideology backing them up or no idealism of their own. It's just about me, look at us, we're fighting for the little guy, we wanna, it's like they want everything at the same time, like they promise a stronger welfare state while also lower taxes. They promise to fight against corruption, even though their leader was the fucking Panama Papers prince. So yeah. Oh, and also they claim to be, they try to fight against some minimal legislation that was just a formality agreement between the European Union and Iceland regarding the theoretical sale of power from Iceland, which is unfeasible because, and Atlantic Ocean. Oh yeah, and apparently they claim themselves to be very much against that, even though when Sigmundur Davíð was freaking Prime Minister, he had David Cameron from Great Britain over, and they had a chat about the possibility of building a electric cable between Iceland and Great Britain to sell Icelandic power, and Sigmundur Davíð was actually very pleased with these ideas, called them great investment opportunities. So yeah, like even the stuff that they claim to be passionate over, they're just completely full of themselves. Oh yeah. Yeah, Sigmundur Davíð is a liar. Nothing new here, and so that the people who support him also support Guðmundur Franklin, that should be a good enough red flag for all of you. But then again, why am I even bothered to stand here? It's not like he's Like, I'll be surprised if Guðmundur were to get more than 10% of the vote. And then I think the only thing that can like elevate his vote count is simply gonna be the voter turnout. I think most people are just gonna look at this election like, I was gonna vote today, but fuck it, Guðni is gonna win anyway, so yeah. So yeah, Guðni could come out with anywhere between 70 to 99% of the vote, you know, just depending on how many people are gonna go out there, but yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching, I'm Jóhann Arinbjarnarson and have a nice day.